So what is exponentiation? So x to the n means multiplying x by itself n times. So to give an example, if the exponent is 3, x to the 3 will be x times x times x, because I'm multiplying x by itself 3 times. Now x to the 3 is also called x cubed. Now if my exponent n equals 2, I will have x to the 2. Now x to the 2 will be x times x, because I'm multiplying x by itself 2 times. This x to the 2 is also called x squared. Now x to the 1 is multiplying x by itself just 1 time, so that means x to the 1 is just x. Now let's go a little bit further. What would mean x to the 0? Can x to the 0 mean multiplying x by itself 0 times? That doesn't make too much sense, doesn't it? So one way to interpret x to the 0 would be as not multiplying by anything. Or in other words, x to the 0 should be a number so that multiplying by that number doesn't change anything. Can you think of a number like that? Well, probably you thought about 1, because 1 times any number is just the same number. So x to the 0 will be equal to 1. Another way to see this is by looking at this pattern. Note that to go from x cubed to x squared, we need to divide by x. We can repeat the same pattern, so to go from x squared to x, we divide by x. And finally, to go from x to the 1 to x to the 0, we divide by x. Note x over x equals 1, which makes sense. Let's go even further. What would be x to the negative 1? Well, we can repeat the same process. It would be x to the 0 over x, so it will be 1 over x. So x to the negative 1 should be 1 over x. Now, if we keep going down, x to the negative 2 would be the same thing as x to the negative 1 divided by x. So x to the negative 2 will be 1 over x, which will be 1 over x and another x on the bottom, so 1 over x times x. But we can write this as 1 over x squared. Now, note something important here. Essentially, if we keep going down, we will have that x to the negative n will be 1 over x to the n. So, big summary. X to the n, when n is a positive integer, is x multiplied by itself n times. X to the 0 equals 1. And x to the negative n will be 1 over x to the n. So let's finish with a simple problem, a simple example. So what is 2 to the 4, for instance? Well, 2 to the 4 will be 2 multiplied by itself 4 times. So it will be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So now this will be 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, 8, times 2, 16. Now what about 2 to the 0? Well, remember, x to the 0 is just 1. And now 2 to the negative 2 is 1 over 2 squared. Now what is 2 squared? Well, it's 2 multiplied by itself 2 times. So in this case, 1 over 2 times 2, so 1 over 4. And that would be it.